we've got two eyelets screwed in there with a rope going through it that will suspend the I-beam on that side, and eyelet there and there with rope to suspend the I-beam on this side. I'm going to take the I-beam and put it on these steps. It's a pretty tight fit, so I'll put it on this side first and then lift this one up and over, and then I'll at least have it 3 foot off the ground, and that'll get me started relatively quick to the height I need. This board is clamped in place to keep these ropes from sliding out. I actually slid the ropes back, so it's kind of at an angle, but it just keeps the ropes away from the edge, and this board will keep the ropes from sliding off. And then this is just another safety precaution. You'll see how I'm going to use that here in a little bit. I'll put a concrete block under it, and that way the rope and this both have pressure on it as I'm going up. Then over here, I had the eyelets really close to the edge, and I decided to move them back about 3 foot, and they're out of the way. Putting screws in here so this can go over here and latch on here, and then I'll walk itself up as I lift the beam. those two are up still high. This one's high, but all these have went like this a little bit. So if I was to put that 5/8 drywall on here and more upstairs, it would probably do a little bit more. How much more, I don't know. The trusses are rated for it, but right now these are touching. That one's not touching, and those 2 and 3 out there aren't touching either. So it just says, you know, shows that there has been some sag, because it's a big span. Even though they're rated, you know, the trusses are built and rated.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't have to put that in, but I didn't feel comfortable without it, because you get up there and you move and the floor does, you know, bounce a little bit. So I have this board wedged up tight, so the I-beam is as tight as I can get it up there on both sides. And I use this board for leverage to go under here to lift it up as tight as I could. And then I get my metal plates in there and weld the little brackets on. Here it is all finished. A 4-inch wide piece of steel, 1/4 inch thick. It has screws attaching it to the concrete wall. And the purpose of those is to keep this piece of steel from bowing out, because it has all the down pressure of that I-beam sitting on this piece of steel that's welded to this. So that's all the down pressure, and we don't want this bowing out. So that's all we need to do, is keep this flat attached to the wall. And then this piece of steel also goes up behind the I-beam, so there's no possible way for this piece of steel to come out at the top, because it's behind the I-beam. So that just takes all the pressure of this and goes straight all the way down to the floor. And then also, if we go to the other side, it's the same way, except it's all kind of hidden on this side, because this wall is drywall and there's studs behind it. There's several studs, 3-4 studs behind here to make it super strong, because this plate steel is attached to the studs, and then it gets all the way down here at the floor and is attached to the floor of the house. And it's all hidden because I put drywall on each side of this and then put drywall mud in to cover it up, so it was nice and neat. And same thing, this piece of plate steel that you can't see goes behind the I-beam up there. It's just a pretty long span of 32 feet. And so the only thing I want to do is trying to keep the floor from bouncing upstairs and just take a little bit of load off. So it's a lot firmer up there. Before, you could jump up and down a little bit and you could feel it moving. So it just makes for a really nice solid floor up above.